Hey guys, it's your boy Fiscon here, and there's been a lot of talk about Star Citizen's method of funding and the ability to buy into everything from ships to UEC and whether or not the game is pay to win. I'll formulate an opinion on this at the end of the video, but throughout the video I want to provide you, the citizen, with all the information I could find, which you yourself could also find, to formulate an unbiased opinion. The method in which I'll do this is by listing arguments and going into detail on both sides. Alright then, let's get into it. To kick this video off, we should first add some direction. A lot of argument revolves around pay to win and what it is. For this video, I'll throw in a few terms and you can use the information provided to decide if Star Citizen fits any, none, or all of the types of pay to win models listed here. First up would be literal pay to win. You play a game and you're losing, so you pay to win that match. Imagine in a game like Clash of Clans, you're fighting an opponent base and losing. You open up the shop menu, spend money to purchase the win you're about to lose. There aren't many game models that operate like this because what reasonable player base would use their wealth to determine the victory by giving it to someone else? I say this, but I'm sure it does exist. Next up would be the pay to win model that is used more commonly. Additionally, all these terms are the same words but hold different meanings. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but in this case I'm referring to a pay to win that gives a player an advantage that people who don't pay for it cannot have. I'm not referring to obtaining DLC packs either, I mean directly in the game. For example, a Redditor by the name of Tuberculosis said something along the following lines that matches this theme really well. In BDO, you need to buy pets to be effective, and you cannot earn these in game aside from a few starter pets. If you've played the game, you know that you can negate this by purchasing pets from players who sell them on the market, but only if they sell them, and it is not often that they are sold. There are many examples of this, but the gist is, does the game sell any advantage that players can't obtain in-game, even if they had to grind for it? And lastly, for this video, we have the most mild version of pay to win. I call it mild simply because in this version, everything that can be purchased can be obtained. To clarify, I don't mean like in BDO where a player can sell their item to others for silver. I mean if I played the game without spending money, I can obtain the same things with in-game credits from only the game and not the assistance of other people spending money and then trading it to me. Trading for cash-only options with silver is not a terrible model, it is just a slippery slope, I feel. There are more ways that pay to win is viewed as well. Perhaps a game only sells skins that offer no advantage, but you have to pay to obtain it, or DLC and subscription-based pay to win, where you pay to gain certain advantages, like in Arcade, though you could obtain subscriptions for that in-game with in-game currency. Regardless, I'll stick with the three I listed above, and we can just move forward with what we have. Don't limit yourself to these, and drop your opinion in the comments, as I'm certain I missed something and love to be informed. The first subject on trial in our great game Star Citizen is not actually the purchase of ships, but rather the purchase of UEC. In the past, you could purchase up to 25,000 UEC and it was capped at 25,000 UEC. Recently, this cap was changed to a daily cap, so you can purchase 25,000 UEC every day. This is not alpha currency, this is the actual in-game currency upon release. Daily purchase cap, well, I would speak on this, but the best person to speak on this issue would be the man himself, and this is what he had to say, and I quote, "Pay to win. What is win in Star Citizen? We have challenges and gameplay for everything from solo players with just an Aurora to a huge org crewing an Idris. We're making a space sim. I don't even know what you would qualify as win. That's the whole idea. You play how you want to play and should be able to have fun in a number of ways. Just like in real life, there are multiple paths, and your own path to success is really measured on a personal level. Furthermore, there will be nothing in the game that you can only purchase with money. You can't buy better stats or skills, we don't sell magic kill bullets, and everything you can purchase with real money like ships or UEC can be earned via gameplay. By allowing people to purchase ships or a limited amount of UEC, we're just allowing people that want to support the project a way to do it. It's expensive to build a game of this scope, and it's expensive to run the servers that people play on, while not preventing the person that has only bought the basic game package from playing, earning and upgrading their equipment, and competing with people that have spent more than them. Every persistent online game has inequality in starting assets, even if there is no ability to purchase, as people start their game careers at different times. If you join EVE or WoW right now, you don't have the experience, stats, or assets that someone who has been playing for years has. We don't see the issue with some people starting Star Citizen with different equipment, as long as everyone gets the opportunity to earn everything via gameplay, which they will. Alright, back to me. I won't go much further into this topic other than what Redditor Huso had to say, and to sum it up, he suggests we be allowed to bank the first 25k AUEC we earn every day in-game for release on the completed version. Either you buy the 25k UEC or you earn it that day in-game. It is still debatable if this is fair, as it would give backers a credit advantage over players who decide to buy the game upon release, or people who bought the game and don't want to play until release, but that is for every individual to determine themselves. Not all is negative. Next up, I'd like to talk about the inability to purchase advantages. Don't mix this up with the fact that you can't buy the gold pistol skin with credits in-game. The only difference is the skin. You can still acquire the weapon with the same stats, while allowing the game to obtain funding for further development. This includes things like being unable to buy modules with cash that would grant higher capabilities than in-game equivalents. You can't buy gear or stats that give you an unobtainable advantage over other players. The ability to purchase UEC doesn't fall into this category, as you can still obtain UEC regardless. To summarize, there are no purchasable game mechanics that grant a feature that cannot be obtained in-game. For example, in BDO, where you need to buy pets to be effective and you cannot earn these in-game. To quote Redditor Tuberculosis, this pay-to-win is different because it gives an advantage that can never be negated, whereas buying things available to grind for simply means if you grind 10 times more than me in-game, I can still be relevant because I grind 10 times more in real life. Currently, you can pledge in for the game and spend as little as $40 or up to something like $27,000 to obtain every ship in the game. People have a serious gripe with this. I currently have not had much of an issue with this at the moment, but that could be because we are in alpha and I can't experience the full effect. I've also spent a decent chunk of cash, so my opinion could be biased. With that said, I believe this topic falls within the previous one nonetheless, as regardless of whether you buy an Aurora or an Idris, you can still obtain them. It is just dependent on time spent for one individual in the game versus another with cash. The gist of the counter argument to this being seriously pay to win, is that it can still be obtained in-game with time. In addition to this topic, it's been mentioned that the ability to purchase ships that are currently not available in-game, and while this would make sense as a pay-to-win model during release, this doesn't apply because no such thing has ever been intended to be implemented. You will always be able to purchase ships with in-game currency. If Star Citizen veered from this path, I fear they would destroy everything that everyone has invested in, and I'm sure they are aware of this too, or at least I would hope. Alright guys, it was a long one and it took me a while to compile. I just struggled really finding the best way to convey the information in the best way possible without clouding the judgment. So if you waited till the end to hear my opinion, here we go. I definitely believe Star Citizen has a form of pay to win, but one that is rather mild and actually bearable, as everything can be obtained in-game. Alright guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this one and it made you engage your mind with this topic and perhaps open your views. I'll catch you guys in the next one.